Hello, America. I am Riley Liljenquist, and today I will go back to covering or commentating the news. You see, lately I've been back to my commentary on culture and movies. Well, today we're going to talk about the news because there's a lot to talk about. One of the most important things, I think, is basically the impersonation of the Mandarin that Al-Qaeda is doing. You see, when I talk about the Mandarin, I think of that famous line from the Iron Man 3 commercials. You don't know who I am. You don't know where I am. You'll never see me coming. You don't know what I'll do. That's pretty much where Al-Qaeda stands at this point. You see, a week ago, I'm sure everybody knows, there was an attack on the French satire magazine or newspaper, Charlie Hebdo, in which ISIS supporters, but not ISIS themselves, had shot and killed 12 reporters and columnists for Charlie Hebdo, including their editor-in-chief. Now, I say ISIS because they themselves did not attack Charlie Hebdo. According to a statement that they released, they did not attack Charlie Hebdo. However, they gave full support, they gave a lot of praise for those that did. So, I can't say that they did officially, but it's like saying that Russia hasn't done a lot of attacks on the Ukraine. You know, they haven't pushed the revolution. A lot of people are saying they are, a lot of people are saying they aren't. You know, it's up in the air in which ISIS is actually behind this. Or South Korea, how they said they aren't behind our attacks on Sony. They attacked Sony and they deny it, and then we find out that they did. So we may be seeing that from ISIS, we may not. But the point is that afterwards, Charlie Hebdo went on to actually put Muhammad on their cover, which is why they were attacked in the first place, to show they will not be affected by threats and by violence of terrorists. And Al-Qaeda said, hey, France, Charlie Hebdo, we're going to get you back for this, which is very Mandarin of them in my mind. But it's ridiculous because there are several other religions in the world that are big, prominent religions. I mean, obviously, there are hundreds of religions in the world, but there are several prominent religions. And Buddhists and Hindus and Christians, they have all been the butt of the joke for Charlie Hebdo. And although people have said they do not like what is being printed, they have not resorted to violence in the same way that the Islamic religion, the people of the Islamic religion is pushed. Because the reason I correct myself is that it's this thing that I heard, if you go back to a restaurant time after time again and have 1,000 great experiences and have one bad experience, you will only remember the bad experience. And I believe that there are a number of people that believe in the beliefs of Islam that are good, well-rounded people. However, there are terrorists in Middle Eastern countries that happen to be Islamic that inflict pain and violence onto many innocent people. And that is why the belief of Islam being worst culture is spread. So I do not believe myself that Islam is bad. I believe that there are people out there that believe in Islam that are bad, such as there are people for thousands of years in Christianity. And people now that have caused problems that do not represent the religion as a whole. Although they may be saying that they represent the morals of the religion, they themselves are not a good representation of what actually is. So I think it is not fair to judge an entire religion on the basis of terror. Because, as I stated, Christianity and Judaism fought for thousands of years over what is right and what is wrong. What is right and what is wrong to believe in. And so it ended with millions of people dying, and the millions of deaths that were caused by this ended up creating a cultural separation which is very prominent today. Yet somehow people have been able to assimilate. And I believe that the same thing will happen if we talk about the Islamic religion, because as I've said, it's not so much that it's that we are getting a bad representation from the few that are extremists. And I've always said extremists of any party are dangerous. But this is like truly, these guys are dangerous. But I support that millions of others actually support the fact that France did something. How do you like that? Like, people joke that France retreats, but they haven't retreated this time. It's kind of amazing. So I, along with millions of others, support what Charlie Hebdo has done in wanting to push the satire and their freedom of speech, because they do it to others, and no other religion has reacted in this way, and they are not going to be pushed by violence, and we shouldn't be pushed by violence either. I kind of feel this Obama thing coming out when I'm talking about this, but that's truly the way it is. And so, like a lot of people have said, Je suis Charlie. And that's pretty much the news, basically, is this attack on freedom of speech, freedom of religion. And we can't take people seriously that resort to this kind of violence. That is my opinion. That's where I stand. So, if you have an opinion, well, that's your right to have that opinion. Do with it as you will. Just if you want to do what I'm doing, get a camera, get a recorder, and post your opinion also. Try not to cause terror to anybody, though. That's something that should be prevented, is terror and death and violence. But for the Pocatello Chieftain, I am Riley Liljenquist, and I am signing off to all those that are listening in Brazil and the United States and all around the world. Good night, good day, good evening, wherever you are.